Aroh Shukla is works at Insights, and he's the Microsoft Data MVP and Microsoft Certified Trainer. And yeah, over to you, Aroh.
Thanks, Asif. Right. So I'm very excited and with wonderful speakers lined up. So I'm happy that I'm the first speaker after the keynote sharing the information. Right. So let me share my screen again, guys. Please help help us because there's a lot of sounds coming behind the scenes and all. So please help to mute yourself because we can't check all the things. Please help to yourself, right? So I'm mute for self. Let me start my session first. And yep, here I go. Okay, so first session, I'm talking about how we can easily integrate Power Automate with the Azure Cognitive Services, right? So the first session we are doing, and again, Karthik mentioned about the business applications and the AI, which is like a really one thing. So I want to go in depth about how we can integrate applications with the AI applications now. So something about myself. My name is Aroh, which Asif mentioned. So I'm a technical consultant in Insight Technologies, Singapore. I'm an MVP and MCT. I have experience in Office 365, SharePoint Online, and data platform. I do a lot of trainings for my customers. I'm all to understand the business requirements and the challenges with the customer faces. And I do a lot of Power Platform training to community like this, and also to my customers here. You can contact me in my LinkedIn. I update my blog, and you can contact me at my Twitter handle. Okay. So in 30 seconds, I showed about myself. Okay. So agenda for us very simple. We talk about introduction to Power Platform, and then Power Automate, how it works. Then a basic introduction of cognitive services in Microsoft stack of technologies. Then how we can easily move your Power Automate application with your cognitive services. So we can see how it works. And we have a demo for that. So I want to give a brief, the intro of all the services which Microsoft has, and we show the demo on that. Again, towards the end, we have some questions, right? So because I'm sharing a lot of amazing content, just hold for that. And then during the question and answer, you can ask any questions. You can actually put in the chat box, or you can put unmute yourself and ask us. Okay, so very basic stuff. What is Power Platform? It's a low code, no code solution for Office 365, Dynamics 365, Azure, and you can have your own standalone applications. So we have 4 services which we already know in general. So we have a Power BI for reportings. We have Power Apps. For app development, we can use Power Automate. We will show how it works in our demo. And we can also use Power Virtual Agents, but this is a new kit in the blog, which released last year. And we can use AI Builder, have a lot of connectors, and you can use a data layer called as Common Data Service, CDS. So this is the overview of our data platform. So these are the main thing we're working on. And what Power Automate can help us. So it can help us to automate at scale. So where you 2 through 3 simple applications. For example, you want to have automate your email to your OneDrive. So very simple. Or you can have a very complex systems. You can do amazing stuff there. You can have a seamless integration with a lot of data connectors. I'll show you what connectors we have, and also increase the productivity. So it gives a lot of power for any organization, and increase your organization agility. Very important. You increase the agility of any organization. And by default, we have AI tools inside, so we can have a look on that. Okay, so one thing, like before Power Automate, before the Power platform was not there. I mean about 2015 prior that. So a lot of people have do only the coding, right? And it's very difficult for any other user, whether they're business users or the IDA admin, to understand. What Microsoft is want to do is want to empower everyone. Three different kind of audience. You could be an end user. You could be a really experienced developers, which we know there are amazing developers here, and the people who can actually maintain the system, like your infrastructure, your governance and all. So you can do. So what Power Automate in general Power Platform can do three different audiences: your business users, your again developers, and your IT people. Okay, so I mentioned to you that is keep on we have a lot of connectors. We can use connectors from your cloud or can use from on premises. So the number of connectors, app connectors are keep on increasing, right? And Microsoft keep adding new connectors. This month itself, November itself, they added 8 new connectors. Okay, so again, you have ton of connectors, and I have to update my slide multiple times because of new connectors coming from the Microsoft, right? And I just want to share where amazing use cases from Microsoft itself that what Microsoft actually using it. So there we talk about how Microsoft Finance, the legal team, and the engineering team and operation team, how they are using Power Automate. So I give you a brief of that, and we also share how we can use it in general. So just not like a theory, but a practical way how we can use it. So first thing, right, what's happening for the finance team in Microsoft, they have lot of tedious emails and lot of data merges happening, make it very tough for any finance team in Microsoft. So they have to handle the merging the data from different data sources, from Excel file, from your SQL data, from other reports and all. It's huge, take a lot of time for the finance team. So what they came with something called as Power Automate, Power BI, and Power Apps. So they're using, obviously they're using emails. A lot of people are using your Excel files. A lot of people are using SharePoint in their customers. So what the finance team, the Microsoft Finance, they actually using a solution which entails four applications: SharePoint, Excel, and the Power Apps. So how it helps to them. So again, it's from the quote from one of the finance engineer in Microsoft USA. He mentioned that he have no idea how powerful the Power Automate was because they had to rely on the normal developers. And now if I put in highlighted, even the non-programmer, now these people, finance people had totally work on the data part. They had no idea about how to do programming. But even with the simple applications like Power Automate, SharePoint, and Power Apps, they can easily solve the users' issues in the finance team in Microsoft. You see how powerful the Power Automate application is. Okay, let's see the second example of legal. Legal team has again have a lot of legal things from different customers, from SMB, from different organizations. Law firms always have a lot of issues and all requests. So take a lot of issues in terms of the data quality and inconsistencies. So what they did, they're using Microsoft Form, they're using SharePoint, they're using communications like Power Virtual Agents and all. So make it life easier for your end users and also for the law firm, because they are using legacy systems. So it make life easy for them. And how it help for the legal team, it increase the productivity for all the users. Obviously, they have a higher data quality, and each attorney have more time to review, right? It's very, rather than using checking the emails and all, now he can have more time focusing on his business, right? So to give a better use case. So third use case, I just want to just round up about the use cases which actually Microsoft is using it. Again, you use a lot of agents, a lot of people from different organizations, different countries. So they have their own compliance, right? From regions, from people from Indonesia, from Singapore, from India, and the Philippines. A lot of people have a different compliance and use different languages, right? So it's very difficult for the Microsoft core engineering team and operation team to handle it. It's so tough, right? And you see that it has around 100 billion revenue plus, right? So having is a huge revenue, and Microsoft engineering and operation team has huge challenge how we can do it, because they have to manage the licensing, regulation, and compliance. What they did, they use something called as Power Automate, and they use something called as AI Builder. Okay, and each country have their own legacy system, whereas no AI, no RPA. There's no automation they can do. There's no API they can use. Therefore, they're using something called as UI flows, where you have no APIs. So in this way, they use the operations team engineering. They actually use UI flows for different organizations, different customers who have completely no API support, but using the UI flows, they're able to automate very easily, right? So again, they get a lot of benefits in terms easily streamline and increase the speed, and using a lot of connectors. So it also reduce the cost. So in general, what Power Automate can help us to streamline the business processes. I mentioned to you about the finance, legal, and operation, which Microsoft itself is using it. So it make life easy for other partners, right? So we have a lot of connectors. It has inbuilt AI, and we can use UI flows using RPA. So that is a power in general of Power Automate, right? So let's change the gears. Let's see what we can do for about AI. So we have a lot of AI features inside. So we can have vision. We have a computer science, computer vision. For example, you have your own business card. So you can have with Power Apps, or you can use Power Automate and read it and store into CADS or store into SharePoint. So a lot of things you can do. We can have some form recognizer, very easy to do. We can also use a speech and the speech to text very easily using the speech tool. And we can also have something called as immersive reader under language packet, right? And we have a language understanding. So Power Platform use a lot of these tools, whether it's Power Apps, Power Automate, or using Power Virtual Agents. So in general, Power Platform use this AI tools very, very easily. And again, you don't need any technical things to do it. Very, very simple stuff we can do. So also we can have a Q&A maker, again, with ease of Power Virtual Agents, we can easily build it very fastly. And today in our demo, we use something called as text analytics. So I will show a demo how we can use it in your own organization. So simple, so easy, writing no code, at least relatively no code. Yeah, so here we work on that. Translator, today, Thruvin, we'll be talking about the anonymity detector. He mentioned about that thing. And we have also have Mandy Hassan talking about the machine learning, how we can use. So we have a lot of amazing speeches towards the end, and many people who are talking about the anonymity detector and the machine learning in general. So we can use a lot of good stuff here. And we can use a personalizer. So there's a lot of good stuff we can use in our AI with Power Automate. Okay. So in our scenario, I just want to share with you that what we will cover today. In our demo, I just want to just take a step back. We talk about three main services which Microsoft itself is using it. We talk about legal, the finance and the operation, right? And how powerful it makes their systems, and the Microsoft have a higher turnaround because of that. Now, how we can use it? Now, our applications, we can also use it. How? So let's see just assume that you are making a new SharePoint site, right? Again, example of SharePoint, people know about SharePoint, right? So there, and a lot of vendors and a lot of internal users, business users, and a lot of stakeholders are working on that. And what happened that after 3 months, they want to show to all the users, okay, that after 3 months of hard work, we have turned off, created this particular intranet, SharePoint intranet, and we want to see how it works, right? So the people from different regions, Singapore, from Hong Kong, from New Zealand, Australia, from USA, and Indonesia, they can put the feedback. So first thing is we have a list which we have which we put there, where the people can put the feedback. And this is the feedback which is coming from different regions, and people can put the regions there. And what we using, we use our Power Automate, and we see using something called as a text analysis. So people can say that is a very good site. The new UI is simple, or people can give some not very nice feedback, right? So in that way, what we want to do is that we want to understand, from the users who have put a bad comment, right? So give feedback for the design team, in the design team, that what is the issue, something they can work on. So after they have find that somebody have put a really low bad rating, that maybe the UI is not good for the people who have some eye issue, or not used for the handicap and all. So these things are not addressed. So the design team, what they can do, they can check in the team, Microsoft Teams, and what they can do, they can just get the feedback and they can fine tune. So this is the use case. So in the summary, we put a feedback list where all the users can put the feedback from different regions, and we use Power Automate, and we use something called as a text analytics, a service which is inbuilt. You don't have to pay anything in general, and using that particular, if the sentiment is bad, we put the low score into Teams. That is the scenario. Okay, so let me show you how we can use it. So my demo will be very short. I just want to share that how powerful we can use it. So this is my SharePoint list. Okay, so let me delete these particular parts. Okay, so these are the things, like people can put anything, like can put out the world, stunning, is very good, is excellent, or people can put ugly, maybe from Alex from maybe USA, he didn't like it at all because it's not very user friendly for people who have eye issues, that they cannot read it properly, right? So accessibility issues and all. So what we have to do here. So what I will do here, I just want to show you that to addressing our demo, first I have created something called as a text analytics. So for I want to share with you that in Azure Cognitive Services, we have a ton of services. We have a anomaly detector. Today, the last session will be from Dhuvin. He will explain in detail using Power BI how we can actually see the issues about any problems which is happening. And we can have some kind of a content moderator. So something can put any comment. For example, again, for even for our SharePoint feedback, somebody can put really bad comment, right? Some F word they can put, right? So we have to monitor this thing particular part. There can be used some very simple personalizer. So you have seen something in Facebook or even in many people use Netflix, right? So if you like something, maybe I like all the comic movies in Netflix. So what Netflix does, so Netflix they have an inbuilt AI. They check what this user, this particular person watches. So he will recommend the same kind of titles, all the comic things, maybe in Bollywood, in Hollywood, anything. So it'll give you a better feedback. Same thing for Amazon.com. Same thing for Facebook. If in Facebook is something you like a post about comic thing or something which is really nasty, some nice, a very nasty accident happened in Singapore, then somebody will say, okay, this guy actually is learn about something about accident or something news in Singapore. So give you a personal view. Again, is under AI using decision, right? Then what we have ton of things. We have language understanding. In Power Platform specifically, we're using Power Apps, Power Automate. We can use Q&A Maker. We have ton of things we are doing, but today we are working on something called as text analysis. In our feedback, that if somebody has put a wrong feedback or something which is not nice, at least somebody in the design team in our countersort.com, they want to see why people put bad feedback, right? So we'll see on that. In terms of the language, again, I just speed up here. We have language things. We have a lot of text to speech, this speech to text, a lot of things we can do. In terms of the computer vision, we can analytics the images. Again, I mentioned of your business cards. You can have your data inside your Power App, and the data will be stored into CDS or Dataverse, or can be used in SharePoint or inside your SQL data. So we have a lot of AI services inside. Again, but not all the services are free. There are few paid services, and we can use now web services is now deprecated. Now, in our simple, I think we want to create the text analysis. So what we are looking into this, we have to text a sentiment. What sentiment? Like maybe I can put a comment here. I want to check. I put myself. Maybe I put Andy. Okay, Andy is from, and he said like, but it's good, but he's found that the site is not good, right? So I think he put like a really bad site, right? So what he can do, he can just put the feedback here, right? So this is what I'm doing, adding a feedback, okay? And then in behind the scenes, we are using a tool which is called as cognitive services. Yeah? So in what we do, I just go to in my portal.azure.com, I go to cognitive services. Under cognitive services, I go to text analysis. Okay, click on that, and I just create it. Again, I'm not using any code at all, right? I just want to have a business user how they can work on the code. So I just use something called as a text analytics. Okay, let me just create this. Yeah, it takes some time. Okay, so I can define in my region. So I'm just creating a simple text analytics instance. I'm using maybe for the Southeast Asia. I can use any application. I can use my tier. I can use something a free tier. Okay, I'm using a free tier. For the demo purposes, you can use anything. I can use in my own resource group, right? So what I'm doing, I'm creating a demo about text realistic. APAC. Okay, so I'm done with that. I just create that. Now I have already done it, so I won't waste your time. Just want to show that in this particular part, I have already it's simple stuff. I already created. What I want to show to you is that after I have done, I have this particular this instance of data analytics. What I have to do, I have to just get my keys and my endpoints. So this is my endpoints. I will just copy here. And this is my key. I use these keys in my tool. So let me create a tool, this thing, demo for text. analytics. Okay, and I'm using something. For SharePoint. So when data is created, right? So I will use this particular tool. And in this, when item is created, so item is created, it will show to me. For example, Andy gave a bad feedback, ugly. I can just put here, click on the create button. Okay, and after that, what I have to do, I have to just get the site name. So what is my site name? I can go to, this is the site name. Sorry, this is my site name. And this is the feedback, intended feedback. So you see, again, I have not wrote any code here. Simple stuff, very easy. Okay. So after that, what I have to do, I have to get my AI, the text analytics. So how we can do it? So I can go and search for something called as detect sensitive. So detect sentiment. Okay, now you can see that I have a sentiment, and we have something called as a AI builder. Now AI builder is a bit different. AI builder in general is mostly for the business user who don't have any coding experience. It is a paid one. But however, inside your text analytics, you can, if you have a coding skills in a team, you can write your own code and enhance it. But just for the short demo, just want to show that how you can use it. Okay, so let me, I already have thing. I just want to use, create a new connection. I'm using this particular connection. Okay, and what I want to analyze, I want to analyze that feedback. The feedback is in this field, right? Feedback. I want to get the feedback. So I just create the feedback. Okay, so this is the thing we have done so far. No rocket science, simple stuff, no coding required. The only thing which is next we have to do is to put inside our condition. If the person have put a bad condition, it should go and send to the design team. Okay, the design team. So let's go. Let me go to the condition, and I will use something called a score here. Use a score, and if the score is less than 0.5, which means if something has people didn't like this particular thing, right? So less than, so again, score is mostly ranged from 0 to 1. 1 is close to 1 is something very good rating. Below 0.5 is a bad feedback. This is something which we have to understand, that sentiment analysis work for in this way. Okay, you have a number which is from 0 to 1. Okay, now in the ever scenario, we are using something called as a score. And what we have to do, we have to just, if somebody has put a bad feedback, like here, Andy put a bad feedback, what we have to do is just put a condition, and we have to send to the design team. Now, where this post, our post will be inside our teams. So let me put here, let me put in my teams. I put something post. I post a message. I put a post into V3. So now what I'm doing, I just want to put in one of the teams in the design team. So we have a team called as a awesome public team, and we have a channel which is called as the design site. So we have again, we are looking for some kind of feedback by any of the customer. So what I can do here, I can put hi there. Okay, so and we put a title. I put a title. The title is the person, right? Person. So this person has submitted feedback which is not good. Okay, and we also we can put something. The score was, I can put a score, right? It's a person I put. I can put a score here. So let me search for the score. This is the score here. Directly we got it from the our text analytics, again from the AI. and the actual feedback was I can put the feedback here. So again from the SharePoint, which column we are monitoring? It is this feedback column. So let me go here, go to the feedback. Yeah, I'm going to be back, and we're done. Okay, then click on the save button. Okay, now you see, now again, no condition was a no. We just want to see how it works. So you see, I have done a very simple Power Automate using a SharePoint application, and we're using an AI tool, which is using our cognitive services. I showed you how easy to create a instance of the text analytics. I'm using a score. And if the person has given a bad feedback and a bad feedback, and then he can just the person can see. So this is the thing. Let's run this particular thing and see how it works. Okay, so let me create another thing. I put something called as John. I put something called Bat Smith, and I put ugly. Navigate. And I click OK. Okay, and now it will go and it will run. It will now it has it will run and will give an information what's happening. So I'm using a lot of connections. I'm using your Azure text and analytic instance. I'm using a SharePoint using my account. And I'm also using a connection called as Microsoft Teams. So I'm using 3 different connections here. Okay, let me check what's happening here behind the scenes. It's still not run, but let me show. Previously, I have a run here yesterday, and it was successful. You see now, just run this now, successful. It was successful, done, and you can see that the feedback. So I can see that the item was created, right, and the sentiments not now. It's the same thing, right? And the feedback was very low, right? Feedback is very low, and it will send a message. Now it will send a message to the teams, right? So from John. Now let's see what's happening in this Teams. So let me, no, this is the one. So under our Microsoft Teams, under design the site, I have a lot of feedback that how we can use it, right? So, sorry. Asif, something. Guys, let you know something happened here. Let me show my screen again. Guys, when you see my screen, Asif, can you just confirm?
Hello.
Yeah, I think somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Shailendra.
Aroh.
Shailendra.
Aroh.
Yeah.
We are. Can you show
we
your?
can see your screen.
Yeah, I'm showing the screen. I don't know. Somebody removed my account. I don't know. I'm just sharing the screen. I think you can see my Teams now.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm lost something, but just want to share with you that in our scenario, we created an account and we put a feedback about something, right? So let's run again. So we put maybe I put Asif. Okay, and then Asif think that the site is not very good. He put so bad, and then he put bad, and then it go save here. And then what happened behind the scenes is will run inside our text analytics tool. So we are running at this site. I'm monitoring this site, and I'm using a feedback item where people can put feedback here. And I'm just running the score. If the people have put a good score, then nothing is shown in Teams. But if somebody has put a bad score, it will show to my teams here. So this is the thing which I've shown you, that if somebody have put a score less than 0.5, but it's not good feedback, then we post them into Microsoft Teams. So this is the message which I showed to you. Now, Asif mentioned that this feedback is not good and it was bad, right? So the score is 0.5. So all our scores are bad because something people didn't like it about something, right? About whether the navigation or it's not very easy to access or the colors are very bright. So many things here. So this gives you a better use case that how we can use Teams. Again, I give you a very simplified way how we can use it. But in general, that using Microsoft Teams, using Power Automate and cognitive services is so easy to create, and you don't need any coding at all, right? So I mostly believe in all my end users have data customers. They don't want to have any technical stuff to be learned, right? And that's what Microsoft has make amazing tool called as Power Platform, through which no code also you can develop. Like what I've done showed you is very simple stuff. No rocket science, just drag drop kind of things I've shown to you. Only thing I have done is I create a new instance of text analytics inside my Azure, and that's it. I just copy paste the things and it worked for you guys. So I just want to thanks everyone. If any questions so far, I'm able to answer, guys. Okay, so I just close off my slide. Any questions so far? Guys, you just I can just share with you.
Hi everyone. If you have any questions, you can put in the chat box or you can unmute yourself and can directly ask.